Welcome everyone to another episode of the Warmup, man. I'm here with just one guy, man. This me, man. We got Afro Chris, we got All Star Reg in the building. Say what's up to the people who are tuning in this episode.
What's up? What's up? I think our other co-host is probably still recovering from All Star and all the festivities.
Obviously, so much that his power went out because he's got to pay his utilities. But you know, if this is your first time rocking with us, man, this is a place where we talk about sports, current events, and things in between through the lens of Black culture, man. Feel free to catch us every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform, whether that's, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, any of that stuff. Or, man, if you want, catch us on the YouTube. This is where we have the video. I think it's also hosted on Spotify. So, get a little bit more of the action, kind of see some of the mannerisms here that exist. So, again, if you're there, check us out at the Warmup Podcast, and check us out on social media side of things as well, IG and Twitter, _warmup_pod. Feel free to go ahead and subscribe to those as well, so you can get some of the latest interactions that we have, and then you can kind of share your interaction, kind of engage on that side of things as well. Finally, we do have a Reddit, the Grindhouse Network, Grindhouse NTWK, so make sure you check that out if you want. And then finally, we do have a Discord for people to kind of join in and do more of the same engagement in a safe space, talking about sports and also non-sports related topics. And that is searchable at Grindhouse Network for Discord. So anything else you want to add on there, Rich?
Nah, I think you hit all the notes as per usual.
Cool. All right, man, we'll get into it, man. The first thing, actually the only thing we're gonna talk about, man, because it's the only thing that was important so far, has been the All-Star Weekend. This is the weekend that, everybody comes out of the woodworks for, unless you go to Salt Lake City. I don't know why they picked Salt Lake City as a destination. And, it was fine. Some people came out to play. Actually, one person came out to play. The other people just came out to relax for the next 9 days as the NBA hits its mid-season break for them to go and relax and banter with each other and party and go to Mexico and all that stuff. Relax and get ready for the next 20 games of their season before the playoffs start to pick up. So, we could start off with some of the things that happened in Friday night. I mean, not much really happened in Friday night. The Rising Stars happened, and is there something that you want to talk about with them, Rising Stars? Yay, nay?
I did not catch that game, unfortunately. I would have liked to see the Rising kind of familiarize who's maybe not getting so many minutes, but somebody to watch out for. Missed that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it either. I was also preoccupied, but I would have liked to see that game. Just to keep it simple, I didn't get a chance to look at that. And then next thing was the skills. The next thing was skills challenge. Saturday was the big day that everyone advertises, promotes, says, hey, this is why people come out. It starts off with the skills challenge. Team Giannis, Team Antetokounmpo versus the team rookies with Paolo Ricchero against, and who was the third team? Oh, Team Jazz, like Jordan Clarkson, Kessler, and Sexton, right? Like they end up winning. Okay, fine, they end up winning. Again, this is one of the things I did not care to watch.
Were there any winners in this situation?
Clarkson felt like he really appreciated it. I guess Utah fans, they appreciate. I don't know. There's a lot of losers in this one. So, yeah, that didn't really do much. Then after that was the 3-point contest, and that was the thing that people were considering to take over the slam dunk contest that everyone is writing off nowadays because it's so bad according to some people like Reg. And so, they actually had some more. They had some better competition. They had Tyrese Halliburton. They had Jason Tatum. They had Dame Time, who went to college there, Weber State. They had Julius Randle. Don't know why he was there. Who else was there? There was Lauri Markkanen.
We know who wasn't there. Wasn't no Splash Brothers. Wasn't no Jordan Poole. Wasn't no Steph Curry. Wasn't no Klay Thompson. What are we doing?
Wow, wow, wow. Well, I don't know what we're doing. I know what happened though. At the end of the day, it was Buddy Hield, who was pretty good. I think it was a not career. This season he's 40% shooting, 39% shooting. So he did pretty well. He made the second round. He went against Dame Time, who basically he roasted everyone. I mean, it was fine. Like I said,
it was close. He barely won, actually. In the final round. The final round, he barely won. Didn't somebody have like a crazy first round where they scored the most points? But
I believe that was Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I did get to just look at Tyrese Halliburton's jump shot. His form does not look pretty, but it be going in. So.
But I think he had 25, and then Dame, like he seemed like he was struggling in that last round, and he finally got hit a couple when he needed to get that 26 and edge it out swing.
Yeah.
And as he should, he's a great 3-point shooter. Happy to see him take home the trophy.
Hey, he said if he didn't get it this time, he's gonna retire. So.
Oh yeah.
But he got it.
This is the time to get it.
Why? Because Stephen Clay's not there?
Facts.
Oh, okay. All right. So you saying this should be an asterisk next to his?
No, it is what it is.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, if he didn't get it now, like, difficult.
Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. And then
wait, where was Bane? He injured or something?
No, I don't think he got invited.
Wow, that's egregious.
I mean,
for them to have Julius Randle there.
Maybe Bane got invited. He was like, nah. He's like, I saw the lineup. They ain't the best. That's not the best of the best. I'm not even gonna try to show up there. So that happened for the 3-point contest, and then the slam dunk contest, which the lineup looked pretty shaky. I admit when I saw Jericho Sims and Kenyon Martin Jr. and
I know his daddy.
I know, right? And the Trey Murphy and Mac Mcclung, white guy. I was like, oh, this
no, white guy from the G League,
bro. I was like, what are we doing? Only reason I even watched it because it was on, and I was like, you know what? Fine. Let's just see how bad this is. Like, if it's bad in the first round, I can go ahead and move on and say this is trash and then keep moving. But surprisingly, Mac Mcclung has actually made it an
go for it.
Attractive, basically event. I was like, oh, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? So he basically stole the show. So congrats to Mcclung. Stole the show so much that was probably the only highlight of All-Star Weekend. Everything else was mid at best or worse. And
a little competition from
Trey Murphy.
Yeah, from Trey Murphy, but that was about it.
Yeah. So that happened, and then finally it was an All-Star game. People were throwing up threes from half court. People were doing slam dunk contest level dunks in the game. Defense was basically the James Harden special.
Nah. Not even that. There wasn't even any defense. Not even a James Harden. I'm a 10. They were just literally just standing there and being like, go ahead and do that behind the back dunk that you don't want to do in the dunk contest. That's what was going on.
Yeah.
So yeah. I would say the Mcclung was a big moment. I didn't expect it, and I'm looking at the highlights of the dunks as it was going on live. I wasn't watching on TV live, but I'm just seeing the highlight. I'm just like, yo, I didn't know if it was just the highlights or if he wasn't missing all his try. Apparently, he did all his dunks on the first try. He did some, he didn't do anything goofy. It wasn't, wasn't calling up his grandma on FaceTime and kissing the backboard. It was, just focused on dunks, being athletic, being creative without being goofy.
Yeah.
And, just a lot of attention to detail and executions. Shout out to him. He did a great job.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can definitely agree on the slam dunk side of things. But when it comes to, first of all, he was probably the only person who didn't have theatrics. Probably the most theatrics that he did have was when there was two. One was when he had stacked the two people up to dunk over both of them. It's a little bit much, but fine. I get it because you still gotta clear it, right? It's not like Kenyon Martin who pulled out a 3D printed basketball that's supposed to have the same volume and mass as a real basketball and dribble. Bro, I don't care.
Yeah.
And he did all that just to dunk, just to do one dunk. It was just over the top. Or who else? Oh yeah. There's also the other thing with Mcclung. He put on his high school jersey or something like that.
Yeah.
And he dunked in that. But that was pretty much it, right? Nothing over the top, right? Yeah. But
nobody coming out on a hoverboard and doing 180s and
yeah. It wasn't no Kias was driving out. It wasn't any of that. No cupcakes. Gerald Green, no cupcakes on the neck of the rim. Just
no Timbs this year, no Timberlands this year. So.
Yeah, so that was probably the most refreshing because it's like he didn't do anything that you probably haven't seen before, but it's like you go in with the execution. He went in with the execution, or he went in with the thought process to actually execute, and he went in there like he actually wanted to be there, which. For a G League player, that's probably like what it is, right?
Yeah.
You want to go out there and give it your best because you may not get another chance. Versus like Trey Murphy, he's there. He's gonna be in the NBA for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So Kenyon Martin Jr. is gonna probably be there for a little bit. So they don't really care. Like they already got their money. They're just out here enjoying the festivities just like everyone else. So that does come with a little bit of just being what's the word I'm looking for? Like they're not hungry, they're just being content. They're very docile, they don't want it. You know what I mean? It's just a convenient thing that they just decided to do. So yeah, I do think that Mac brought some life back into the dunk contest. But let me ask this: that do you think you're a big proponent guy, a big supporter of get rid of the dunk contest. Do you think they should get rid of the dunk contest now after seeing the potential that it can have for future, dunk contest years?
Thoroughly entertained if they can bring that and that was just one player doing it. I would have liked to have Ja in the dunk contest, them go head to head. That would have been nice. But even if it's just being creative with your talent, where you're getting your talent from, and just getting people who are going to have that level of performance, I would definitely I think they should find ways to infuse G League players more. I would like to see whoever was just being out of the box and creative with that one. I'd like to see more of that, and not just for the dunk contest, but in general.
Okay. So do you think that we actually need the stars to be a pair? Because I know that's also another thing. People keep saying, "Oh, we need to see these stars in this dunk contest situation, this contest that they don't really probably have any desire to be in terms of no purpose, serves them nothing, right?" And
it would have been nice, if LeBron did it in his career at his peak. If Ja did it this year, he's never done it, right?
No, and he was interviewed. He was asked during the All-Star weekend. He said he doesn't plan on doing it.
So it would have been nice to have those stars that can do it, who have that talent, that ability. But if not, then instead of just getting the next man up, get the people who really want it and can dunk. Just because you're not a rotational player in the NBA doesn't mean that dunk those kind of dunks you're not doing in the game anyway. So you can get inventive and creative with it, and if you just get that kind of energy, I think that's more important than the star, obviously. Because if you've seen Twitter while this was going on, he was all over the place. There was a lot of hype. He was getting 50s. The commentators, the judges were into it more than I've seen other years. Instead of just clowning the product, they were actually enjoying the product with us.
Yeah, I agree. I think Shaq had the best facial, representation of how people were, consuming this product, right? And or it was either that, or it was, who was it? Was it Karl Malone? I think it was Karl Malone, who had his hand in his face, like, bro, what are we doing with this? Like the first round was just horrible. Like watching some of these players just look like, bro, like you don't even care.
Yeah.
And so I do agree that maybe you don't need to have the stars. Okay, let's pose a scenario here. You do get Ja in there, and you do get Zion. Zion did say he planned on doing it next year. We'll wait and see, because we heard the same thing from LeBron, right? So
Yeah.
doesn't mean that he's gonna do it, but
And he's healthy.
can you be healthy first? So
Yeah.
let's say we do get stars in there and they suck, like they bomb, because I mean you have to prepare for that. You can't just be out here just like, I'm just gonna go in there and wing it, which a lot of people are doing, which is why you see people miss, and they finally make, because they're like winging it. They haven't done any type of like preparation for it or any of that.
I mean, to be fair, they preparing throughout the season for the game, right? Which is, I'm sure Mcclung is doing for the G League as well. But you know, there's a little bit less pressure. You slacked off a little bit. Maybe you was just, you know, less prepared. There's probably less preparation and less intensity in the G League. Like, you probably have a little bit more flexibility to go do that, or maybe even try something like that in the game. I don't know, not nothing crazy, but you know, trying to be, you know, a fast break, something like that. You're not gonna get as derided as if you did that in the NBA.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just what it is. I don't know. I think it would be unfortunate if the Stars came in and did that. I feel like he kind of gave a blueprint. I think a lot of people are losing their way with, well, he dunked over Ikea. Like, he gave a blueprint of what can bring back excitement without doing goof, like going over the top. So there's no reason that if the Stars did it next year that they wouldn't be as good. They would lose it. But if they did, and they can't get, and this is just a one-time thing, I'm gonna be right back on that cancel dunk train.
So
what we were seeing last season and that, yeah.
Okay. So with that said, right? So you saying it could be, it shouldn't, but it could, and if it does, go back to cancel slam dunk contest. So this is why I feel like at the end of the day, you probably should just not worry about who's participating, but getting the right kind of people in there who are willing to put in the work.
I like being pleasantly surprised over being underwhelmed. Like, I saw the name list and I'm like, bruh, I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
Then, you know, they came and showed up and played. I was like, I watched this over some of the other people who've been doing it.
Yeah.
Bigger name.
Yeah. So I did want to point out, man, I'm gonna point out one particular season. People talk about how, you know, they always, like, the Stars always show up. And this is a little bit of hindsight too, so because we know who this person is, right? 1997 dunk contest. Remember who was in there?
Nah.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Chris Carr?
No.
Okay. Michael Finley.
Yeah.
Okay. Heard of Michael Finley. Ray Allen?
Yeah.
Okay. Bob Schur. Darvin Ham.
Coach.
You don't know him? You don't know him, man. You don't know him. Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
Okay. So out of all of those players, how many of them do you think were stars at the time?
Ooh. At that time, 97?
97.
I don't think they would have been NBA stars, but they would have probably had like that hype on them, because this is like Ray Allen still Milwaukee Bucks. This is Kobe Bryant just being signed, having a lot of buzz straight from high school, right?
Yep. And those are
the standouts for me.
Yeah. So essentially, yeah, Michael Finley, who was
Michael Finley.
Yeah, Michael Finley, who was drafted in '95, so he's been there for a couple of years, right? So he probably was the most notorious name for the dunk contest, from my recollection. You also have Ray Allen and Kobe Bryant. Both of them are rookies. Ray Allen got drafted, so he's obviously has some buzz around him. Kobe Bryant was only played like 30 games, and he's coming off the bench. No one really was out here like, oh, I can't wait to see Kobe dunk, right? So, you know, I say all that to say this, right? Kobe won the dunk contest, obviously, and you know, a lot of people revisionist history says, oh man, like all the stars come out to play. Like all the biggest stars come out to play. That one right there, specifically, Kobe Bryant was a rookie. He wasn't nowhere close to being a star yet. Ray Allen was a rookie. He just got out, you know, he was a top draft pick. Michael Finley was probably the most notorious or like had the most star power in my opinion, based on his like,
for dunking, right? Specifically for dunking.
For dunking, right?
Yeah.
2000 was a little bit different, but I'm gonna say who this was. This is first of all Vince Carter. That was his only dunk contest. Steve Francis, Tracy McGrady, Ricky Davis. I don't know if you remember Ricky Davis or not. Jerry Stackhouse, Larry Hughes. Again, Vince Carter, Steve Francis, Tracy McGrady. I think it's probably good enough because I mean Vince Carter has already made a name for himself. Tracy McGrady was as well.
Yeah.
Steve Francis was also made a name for himself. Jerry Stackhouse was probably on his back end of his career, I believe, because he was in Detroit by this time. He wasn't even with Philadelphia. Ricky Davis, I want to say Ricky Davis was I want to say either he was a rookie or maybe a second year. Let me confirm that. But you know, yeah, he was drafted in 1998. So then he would have been his second year in the league. So yeah. And again, he wasn't a high draft pick. He kind of started off on the bench as well. But you know, I'm saying it to say like as far as star power, I mean I go do some more, right? J.C. Richardson, Desmond Mason from Seattle, Abari Stoudemire, and Richard Jefferson. That's 2003.
So we've been seeing the decline in the star power.
I mean,
it wasn't even that high if you bring up the point when 97 was begin with.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That's exactly what I was gonna get at. I don't even think I'm gonna go to 91. Sean Kemp, obviously. Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith.
Kenny the Jet.
Kenny the Jet Smith. Yeah, he played it. He dunked in the dunk contest.
What them knees?
No. This is young Kenny. This is young Kenny. Not.
Oh, so this is how the knees got there.
Yeah, this is how
the origin story.
D Brown. I don't know if you remember D Brown from the Celtics. He actually the one who ended up winning again. Rex Chapman, Kenny Williams, Blue Edwards, Otis Smith, and Kendall Gill. Like, are we really actually talking about star power with these Sean Kemp?
Okay, I'll say this. From what you said, outside of just the star power, another thing that I feel like, even though I'm saying it's been trash lately, that might have been a benefit is trimming the amount of people in there. I don't know if it's less people are volunteering or if they're being more choosy.
Yeah.
But this year was only 3.
It's 4.
4?
Yeah, it's been 4 lately. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they could just go and trim that down.
Well, I had to look and see what the 3-point contest looks like, because I know the 3-point contest also expanded, right? So first we got 8 people shooting 3-point contest. Probably shouldn't even be there.
Yeah.
Randolph should not be there.
Yeah. Randall.
Sorry, Randall. Why did I say Randolph? they both shoot the same.
Grit and grind.
They both shoot the same. So, but yeah, Julius Randle shouldn't be there. I know he's a replacement for someone else, but you can either get rid of that spot or find someone else. Like there was literally, I'm sure there's plenty of people who could shoot threes better than Julius Randle.
It is wild.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm just saying all that to say, because they did trim it down. So they trimmed it down to about 4 players lately. But little known fact, I don't know if you remember Darrell Armstrong. Do you remember Darrell Armstrong? Darrell Armstrong was a backup point guard for the Orlando Magic. This is 96. Around 96. Backup to Penny Hardaway.
Okay.
He was allowed to join the dunk contest. You want to know how many dunks the dude made?
None.
You're exactly right. The dude was doing layups. I was like, bro, are you really yeah.
But why? But why are we doing this?
So I don't know.
I wasn't around because I would have been like, cancel the dunk contest.
So Look, I'm just saying.
So everybody else is doing the dunk contest. He was doing the skill challenge.
He doing. Hey, he could have been the pioneer. He could be like, you know what? Because he joined the dunk contest, we need to find something for those kind of individuals to where you can't dunk, but we gonna get you something.
Were the layups nice though?
No, not that I recall. I would say not that I recall. I just thought it was hella funny that the dude out here was doing layups in a dunk contest, and I was just like, I don't think you can do that. I don't think that's gonna get you a 50. It's not gonna get you a 40 at this point.
They should have just ran an extra commercial and called it a day.
Yeah. So, like I said, I say all that to say, man. Look, we've had more star power in the 2000s. Nate Robinson, Andre Iguodala, Josh Smith, Amari Stoudemire, J.R. Smith, and who was Dwight Howard.
We've had Aaron Gordon, and like we had a lot of Zach LaVine. We had a lot of stars out.
Blake Griffin. We even had DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
We had Rudy Gay. We've had some quote unquote stars who are more quote unquote stars than the participants of the 90s. Nobody was checking for D Brown. I like D Brown as a Celtics knowledge point of view, but like I was not subscribing to D Brown.
Yeah, you wasn't tuning in to watch him dunk.
Yeah, I couldn't tune in to watch him dunk. I mean that he can dunk, and I've seen him. Like he's short. Kind of reminds me of Steve Francis, kind of like just exposed off the ground. But people really want to harken on even Jordan. Jordan did his first dunk contest in 1986, and 2 years after college, right? So he was still building his brand in 87, in my opinion. He was still building his brand. Yeah, he had a couple of like really, really good like season highs, game high games or whatever. He wasn't like superstar Jordan, in my opinion. Yeah. I don't think he became superstar Jordan until like 89, 90, 91, where he started to really just like,
figure it out.
Yeah. But, he did it in 87. I'm gonna tell you these names. I know you ain't gonna know none of them. Jerome Kersey, Terrence Stansbury, Clyde the Glide, obviously.
Hey.
Ron Harper, Johnny Dawkins, Tom Chambers, and Gerald Wilkins. That was the first one.
Yeah, I only know Clyde Drexler. Who won?
Jordan.
Okay.
The second one, Michael Jordan, Dominic Wilkins, Clyde the Glide again, Otis Smith, Jerome Kersey came back, Greg Anderson, Spud Webb. To me, that's probably like the most star-studded one that I've seen here in the 80s, right? Because I mean, Spud Webb was jumping off the gym, Clyde, obviously, Dom, Jordan. Jerome Kersey came back. Obviously, he was good enough to come back.
Or his layups was nice.
No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. And then Otis Smith, I mean, he was a decent player too, right?
GA, they had Greg Anderson. So, I don't know, man. I think just hearing that, it just sounds like, picking the right people who want the moment is bigger than having the biggest. And the people, like, it's a skill set thing, like the skills and the desire.
Yeah.
That's the formula, not necessarily the star power.
Yeah.
And keep building on that.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I ain't trying to get rid of the dunk contest because, I mean, historically it's been the same as it's always been. Only difference is that people have less incentive to really try hard.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't really help that they make these rules to try to like tweak it to make it more exciting. And, so the art of it gets lost.
Mm-hmm.
But, instead of us looking at it like we need to have the biggest stars do it, because it seemed like there's bigger stars in the 2000s than there were in the 80s and the 90s. I mean,
and it wasn't necessarily a better product.
Not a better product. So I would, I would want to lessen the noise of LeBron didn't do it, because I think a lot of people keep saying LeBron didn't do it.
And that's why it's bad, because now nobody wants to do it.
Because nobody wants to do it because LeBron didn't do it. Paul George did it. Oladipo did it. Giannis Antetokounmpo did it.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean nobody wants to do it when there are people who are actually doing it? Aaron Gordon and, you know, all these guys. Donovan Mitchell, Spider Mitch did it. He won.
Yeah.
Right? So all of that to say because LeBron didn't do it, no one else wants to do it, I think it's BS. And I want also
that's a great argument. I can't argue that.
And I also want to stress, like, you know, let's take the focus away from who's in it, because if it was based off of who was in it, bro, I would not have watched Saturday.
Yeah. Yep.
Hands down. G Leaguer. If you even just said G Leaguer, special G League.
We said that. We looked at the roster, and then the last one, G League, and I was like, man, I'm not watching. And it just happened to be like, just because, like you said, as much as I said, the dunk contest still. I wonder what's going on in the dunk contest. How we caught it, so I mean,
yeah. So
don't cancel it yet, but y'all need to start being.
But you on probation?
Yeah. I think so. I think in general the All-Star could use it. Like even the All-Star game, we can get into that too. Another highlight that we didn't touch on, there was some moments from the celebrity game were a little bit funny. Janelle Monáe was I would say maybe do away with the celebrity game. Do a celebrity skills challenge. Like you're an NBA basketball player. I want to see you do a skills challenge. See you do a skill challenge every night.
Okay.
Pass you. I see you do that every night.
Okay.
Like that I think that's part of the reason it's boring. Have you ever said, like, is it this year, or was it like there was a year where, like, man, the skills challenge is so good? It's the format.
Yeah.
It's the format.
Yeah, that's true. You know, you're right. I can't think of a skills challenge where I'm just like waiting to see who, like, I just saw this person kill the skill challenge. I want to see this person, like, they go neck and neck. It's never been a thing. Mm-hmm. So you're right about that. Maybe they do need to get rid of it. I'm okay with, you know, I do remember them trying to incorporate WNBA into their, you know, into their program, right? So instead of maybe the skills challenge, I think they had like a 3-on-3 where, like, there was like a NBA guy, like let's say Team Chicago, and you know, it'll have one WNBA player, so like let's say Candace Parker, and then they'll have like DeMar DeRozan, and they'll say, like, let's say they have Scottie Pippen from the Legends side of things, so that they have and then they'll play 3-on-3, men's,
women's, and Legend.
The Legend, yeah, and then they'll go up against like the Magic, who, you know, could have, you know, a Sparks player, Magic Johnson, and I don't know, whoever's currently, you know, on the Lakers team. Like, let's say D'Lo or something like that, D'Angelo Brown. I mean D'Angelo Russell. I say D'Angelo Brown. D'Angelo Russell. And so let's say that was the case, right? And that you should do 3-on-3, right?
Yeah, I think the only issue there is there's not that many WNBA teams partner, but I think that's a good concept. I like that.
Yeah,
something like that. I think they need some new energy. I think you can get rid of this game. Who is that for? I don't know who that's for.
I don't know. It used to be for point guards, but now it's just like, now it's big men in there. Jokic is in there doing.
No, not All-Star. I'm talking about celebrity game.
Oh, my bad. I think you said for the skills. Celebrity. I just remember it was.
What's the point?
Yeah. I mean,
because the people who would want to watch the celebrity game don't watch basketball, so why would they watch the celebrity game? And the people who watch basketball don't really care about Rihanna's jump shot. Like,
I think it's one of those things that they need to find a way to have a family-friendly event that, you know, for kids to kind of like see like the light side of sports or whatever. I don't know.
Celebrity skills challenge.
Celebrity skills? No, because they can't even, like you said, we see people do the skills challenge every day.
Yeah, but I know Chris Paul. I know Jordan Clarkson. Good pass, dribble, and shoot.
True.
Like maybe Drake tries to pass and he misses it. That's the moment. It's supposed to be content, entertainment, lighthearted, like you said. So they're trying their hardest, but it's just naturally gonna have moments. That's what happens in the celebrity game. But we don't need 4 quarters of people bantering and like kind of highlight here and there. It's like, no, you have your moment. Let's see what you do.
So I'm gonna ask this question. Would you want to see DJ Khaled?
Oh yeah, I watch it. Do the skill challenge?
Are you serious? Have you seen DJ Khaled dribble? Have you seen him dribble? The most basic function.
All he does is win.
Alright. So you want him to bobble his way through a obstacle course so we can laugh at him?
Yeah, it's fun. But here's my thing, right? Well, you brought up a good point. DJ Khaled skill challenge. Do you want to see that? Do you want to see DJ Khaled play a full court 5-on-5 4 game?
No.
Okay, so if I have to watch it, give it to me in a skills challenge. It's small and digestible. See it. We have a move on. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Fine. Fair.
Two birds, one stone. I don't want to see an NBA player do a skill challenge. I want to play an NBA game.
So you basically just trying to cannibalize each other until they both disappear because you don't want to see celebrities or skills challenges.
I want to see the celebrities. I just don't want to see NBA players do skill challenge. What does it prove? Oh man, I shot a 3 with nobody there.
Hey man,
it's the All-Star game. The All-Star game is skill challenge.
It's number one. It's hard. It's hard to go through those drills and then pass into a little small, tire. Yeah, that's hard. Obviously, or bounce, because some of you gotta do bounce passes. Yeah. So I mean, that's a skill.
But look, in the skills challenge, there's like barriers and borders. In the All-Star game, like nobody was even accidentally playing defense. So the All-Star game, the skill challenge at this point, we just need to get into the All-Star game.
All right, man.
That was trash, bro. Trash.
All right, man. Let's talk about the All-Star game, man. I know you said that it was trash. You keep trying to lead us into this All-Star game. Look. I would say this before you start going in on your diatribe about how bad the All-Star game was and what you want to do to change it. Let's just give highlights to Jason Taylor for hitting 55 points and breaking the record, All-Star game record. So anyway, we did that. We did that.
No, so, take it away. Pull it back.
So he also got the Kobe Bryant Award, which is the MVP.
Take it back. Because the thing that's even more irritating is that they seem to had a decent formula the past few years. Like, I wasn't mad at the All-Star game last year, the year before that, even with a whole bunch of injuries going into it. KD was gone. I remember what was it, last season we did the draft and about half the team wasn't there. Like, even with and Tatum and Brown, while the team was struggling, both made the All-Star game, but the team, like, we had all these conversations. They turned it around, obviously, and good season after that. But the thing is, it was a real game. There was defense playing. Everybody was trying to win every quarter because of the new format where they did, where you have to win each quarter. Like, all of that was good. We saw Giannis go 100% shooting in the game when he won the MVP.
Okay.
He did not miss a shot. He took threes and all. That's a trophy worthy. I'm not looking at point totals. I'm seeing Tatum doing like layups, like their skill drills with nobody around, nobody's defense, people just pulling up half court. This game, it was just so regressive. I don't understand why they took so many steps back. I didn't get it.
So how would you change this then? Since you have all these criticisms, you're gonna try to take back the trophy from Jason Tatum, try to write this off the books.
It just doesn't feel the same. Even when Curry got it last.
I don't know when Curry got it. I don't know if maybe Curry did get it. I don't know. I don't follow Curry like that. You know me. Nah,
Curry. I remember. I think Curry and Dame were on the same team last year or something like that, and they were both playing really well. I enjoyed that game. Like, I don't think necessarily the game got to go. I don't know why they regressed in terms of like actually trying. Nobody got injured. I don't know if it's just people are tired. I don't know what it is.
You're wrong. LeBron got injured.
Last year?
No, this year. He got injured. He tried to go for a block. See? Look, he tried to go for a block against Pascal Siakam. Hand got stuck in the rim. And I think he like hurt his hand or whatever.
Like an injury, or you got a boo-boo? Like, come on.
I mean, I don't look. I don't know if there's any doctors.
Was the problem solved with a first aid kit, or like he out for 2-3 games?
He sat out for the rest of the game, so he didn't come back. So, hey, you said that
you might as well just call perspiration an injury. Come on, man. Like,
you can't sit here and say they don't play defense, and the one guy who tried to play defense, he gets hurt.
You say he tried for a block. Did he block or did he try?
No, because his hand got stuck in the rim and trying to block it. So
James Harden has a couple seasons where he tried to play defense and he couldn't.
No. He attempted to. I didn't say he tried to play defense. I said he tried to block the shot, which means he was playing defense. He committed to playing defense. It's just that he happened to get his hand stuck in the rim, as you know, his hand hit the rim and bent his finger back or something. Look, I don't know what the official diagnosis is. I wasn't back there. I'm just saying he started grabbing his hand.
We did MRIs. He was writhing on the ground. He started grabbing his head.
No. He was kind of holding his hand, and he stayed in for a little bit.
Was he able to walk off the court? Or
yes, under his own recognizance, he did. He was able to do that.
I was real worried.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Anyways, I'm gonna say this. I think this year is an outlier. I feel like they found a little formula that worked for the past 3 or 4 years. With the switching it up from being east to west, a lot of these things ended up working. I think the live draft didn't work out too well. Jokic just kind of like, he didn't know there was another player on the team. He just drafted himself. You didn't hear that story? He thought he was the last one. He's just like, oh, guess it's me and you, LeBron. And just watched on Team LeBron, but there was a whole nother player. I think it's a little bit confusing. I think people try to draft people like from the reserves when they were still doing, or draft the starter when they're doing. Like, I think it was a little bit confusing. I didn't see the need for the live draft.
Yeah, I agree on that. They could definitely do. So what they used to do in the past is that they would have a TNT segment, like Thursday night game. And then that's when they'll do the draft. So when it was KD and LeBron, Team LeBron, then it would be, they would just do it right there. So like the teams knew who they were going to. Yeah. The teammate players knew who was going to be, or who team was going to be on. So I don't know, the live like right before the game starts, it didn't. Yeah, I don't think that served a purpose for me. But But yeah, man, what is it? What would you change, man? I don't understand. You still haven't given me.
If there's a reason that they regress to this kind of like no defense type of, it's just a spectacle thing, I think they should just go ahead and move forward and maybe use that same creative energy and bring a different talent. Like this could maybe be a mid-season G League, something like that. All the best players in the G League pitted against each other for some kind of monetary
prize,
as well as exposure. Like fans, I think there's a lot of scouting and everything that goes into this game, but when you also hear the business side of when these NBA players talk about how things happen, it's like, I could beat this guy in practice every single day and I'll never get minutes because they gave him the money. He has to be on the court, like stuff like that. You go ahead and get these guys exposure as well as the money. So now, like, when you make a decision on how to get that, it's like, well, the fans really reacted to him. You know what I mean? So that could help these guys get an edge to get out of the G League if somebody was considering them. So I think it's a good opportunity. Okay. I think that's what I would do with it. If for whatever reason, maybe it's the 82 games, maybe they were looking at how many of the stars were currently injured. I don't know what drove the decision for the game to go the way it was when we didn't see for the last 2 or 3 years. But if that is still going on, just go and change it up.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think getting some fresh talent who's going to make these people play.
Mm-hmm.
That may be the answer, right? Get the G League All Stars. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you've been selected, and you know, have the only thing I would have a hard time doing is, I mean, I don't know how you would do this. Is, you know, we have what, 20 All Stars a year,
Mm-hmm.
like 10 on each side.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how you would do that. You're not gonna have a 20-person team. The only thing I can think of is if you do that, something like that, you would have 40 people, right? So 20 from each, like the G League and the NBA, and each quarter is designated for one team, right? So like let's say Team LeBron gets first and third quarter, and then the other team Giannis gets second and fourth quarter.
Oh, you're saying still keep the NBA stars in the game?
Yeah, still keep them there, but my point is that, like, I mean, because you're not gonna want to shrink the amount of people you select for the All-Star game. I don't think you would want to, but I mean, maybe.
For me, it gets back to if for whatever reason they're playing the stars from the NBA the way they were, I figured they wouldn't even want to be there. Like,
well, maybe not, but that's the thing. Do you want to lose? Like, I mean, to be honest, I don't think that's gonna. So, like having G League players play against NBA players. Yeah,
I don't think that's gonna fly. If they won't even play against each other, like you're not gonna want to play the guy who has nothing. Well, I mean, he has something to do. Like,
yeah,
the guy who's gonna go even harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Because then just go hard against each other. This is okay, y'all don't want to play hard. Go ahead and sit down. And just enjoy the event, and let the people who do want to play an actual game play. That's what would change it. Otherwise, then I would rather just see the All-Stars play each other.
So then, okay. So are you saying that you and the average NBA player, watcher, consumer, whoever, right? Average NBA consumer, they are going to want to tune in on Sunday and at 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock, wherever you are, between 5 and 8 o'clock local time, and watch G League players play exclusively.
I think that's a difficulty in the formula. I don't know. I see what you're saying, but people watch Big Three. Like, I think people want to see people really try. I do get the aspect that you're saying that, okay, the talent, I don't know them. Why? Like, it's like watching a high school or college game. I don't know. Then I don't. Either way, it doesn't work. We don't want to see all-stars not try, and we don't want to see non-all-stars try really hard. I don't know what the fix is.
Yeah, I don't have a fix either. I do think there's a little bit of aha moment by having G Leaguers who are selected, right? Like there's a lot of people who are in the G League who are really good. They just don't have the opportunity yet. Jeremy Lin is still in the freaking G League and the active player in the NBA. It's not that he can't play in the NBA. It's that he's older now, that people don't want to really reinvest in him.
As a roster spot, as a long-term commitment.
Yeah.
What's the upside? He's on the downward spiral. Or not spiral, but on the downward trend.
Exactly. So, I get the part that, like, hey man, there are G Leaguers who are hungry enough to want to make a roster spot, to get the showcase, to not get to play against the NBA players on this national stage. Now, that solves one side of the ball, one team. The other people, the all-stars, people who already made it there, the reason that they don't go hard because they don't have nothing to lose, right? Like, in the sense of, if I don't play hard, I'm good. Like, you can't incentivize me with money because you already giving me $30 million a year. You can't be out here, I'm gonna give you $1 million. I'm
Yeah.
okay. I don't really need it. Like I would rather just like chill with my boys.
Even the game now is for charity.
Yeah, but if you took those same NBA stars and you put them against a bunch of no-namers, like you said, hey, this is your competition. So like they hungry. G Leaguers are hungry to go at you to get that exposure. You're not gonna be out here playing Olay defense. You're gonna be out here like, nah, not on my watch. There's a certain level of pride and ego that goes into it. You just need to get someone enough enough motivation to be like, hey, yo, all right, let's play serious now. Even if they do it, I mean, because I could see this happening. By the second quarter, it's a blowout. Okay, that's cool. You got at least a quarter of hard, like early too, not even on the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, but first quarter, they gonna try to blow them out as fast as possible. They gonna try to like put they foot in their neck and just drown them until it's like, oh, it's out of reach. Now we can have fun, right? But the other side, they gonna keep fighting the whole time, right? The G League, they're gonna keep trying to fight, edge their way in, get some notable moments and things like that. But you're not gonna have all this, shooting from the half court, doing this Olay defense, self alley-oops to each other. Like, no, you're not gonna be doing all that because you're gonna be trying to win. So I do think I think that what you say, at least kind of how you started off with it, like introducing hungry people, G Leaguers, into the spectrum, would be something that would definitely make the NBA players not take it for granted. It makes them lock in enough to where you get some type of quality product from the NBA side. It's like Harlem Globetrotters versus national team, global team, whatever.
You can maybe instead of doing it versus, you can do it, mix it in, where you can do the team Giannis versus team LeBron, and he has 5 NBA stars he drafts and 5 G Leaguers, and you have rotational minutes. Something like that. Maybe that'll work. You could.
I don't know how that would work, but again, you still giving up 10 spots to, people who are not. You will still sacrificing 10 NBA All-Star spots. So that's just one thing you kind of consider.
I want to be NBA All-Stars, just be out here standing on the court looking at each other.
Yeah, it don't matter they don't care about standing out there or not standing out there. They want to get paid. That goes into the negotiation for the contract.
Well, therein lies the problem.
Yeah, I agree on that too. So, but my thing is that, if you look, LeBron James, again, that a positive note. LeBron James is his 19th All-Star appearance. He's tied with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Next year, I believe, if he does it, makes it again.
First time losing?
First time losing?
Yeah.
No, he lost before. I don't remember that time where he passed the ball towards the closing minutes, and then Kobe and Carmelo got on him when they lost. It was like years ago, but I think this was still he was still with Miami. But yeah, no, he's lost before, but next year
he's been on a solid streak.
He has actually, he has. So, but 19 years in a row. Oh, not well, 19 years. Actually, it's been 19 years in a row. 19 years in a row. All but his rookie season, he got selected All-Star, and next year he could pass Kareem as all-time All-Star selection. So, if you started to like diminish the amount of slots, then it'll make that achievement harder to achieve because there's fewer spots. So
sure, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll figure it out. They got some smart people.
They ain't got me, obviously. We got all the great ideas over here. Instead of pulling out
that product was overall trash.
So if you give it to a rating, 1 through 5, what would you give it?
Just ranked to the other All-Star events, it's just like this one's been a low point for a while from the last ones in a while. Not the last ones have all been great and perfect or whatever, but dunk contest had a better moment, but overall the dunk contest was still not great. We just had one guy who did really good, who wasn't even from the NBA main league. 3-point contest was kind of meh. I'm glad Dame won. All-Star game was, back to being like very hands-off. I don't know. I'll give it like a 2.
2? Okay. A strong 2 off of one person. One person went from a 1 to a 2. Okay, I feel you.
Huh?
One person brought it up from a 1 to a 2. Mac brought it from a 1 to a 2.
Not necessarily. It's just a 2 because All-Stars are usually just that great. It's just like Pro Bowl, right?
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a 2 too. I'm not even gonna lie. It wasn't. Honestly, I'll probably give it a 1 still, 1.5. But I'll say 2. I'll round up to 2, only because I was pleasantly surprised by Mac.
Yeah, the NBA might surprise you. They might see a new bottom. That's why I gotta view that. I gotta give it space.
Yeah. So the next year is gonna be in Indianapolis. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, man. I mean, compared to the NBA, the NFL, I think the Super Bowl this past year was last year, 2 years ago, was in LA, right? Mm-hmm. When the Rams won, it was in LA. This one was in Arizona. Next year's gonna be in Vegas. They got places people want to go.
Yeah.
I don't think people want to go to Indianapolis. They didn't want to go to Cleveland last year. So.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
And then Salt Lake City, ew. So I don't know, man. I think
does that matter?
It depends, right?
I mean, people are gonna go, and people got entourages. Like, even if nobody wants to go, the NBA got their people, family.
True.
Who want to find somebody.
True. My thing is that if you're trying to make it an event, like you're saying, because right now it doesn't come off like it's an event. Like it's an event, but it's not one of those things that people put like circle on their dates and say, oh, we're gonna go to NBA All-Star because it's going to be in. This is what people say. Like right now, I'm hearing people talking about right now, Vegas next year.
Yeah, but that's Super Bowl.
So, that's my point.
But I'm saying nobody was like Vegas Pro Bowl next year. Nobody cared.
True.
So I think in the standings of All-Star, I don't know how MLB is. I think in the standings of All-Star, NBA might have the best, to be honest.
Yeah. MLB is getting better, but yeah.
And I don't feel as though like the things that we're talking about it's lacking. Fan energy wasn't really it. I think there was some comments about fan energy in Cleveland or turnout in Cleveland last year, but that's not the make or break for like from my experience. It hasn't been like, man, these fans aren't really into it. That's just my takeaway. So I don't know if it matters where. I don't know. I just don't know if it matters where.
All right, that's cool.
Maybe it's easier, like if you wanted to like certain people to participate in the broadcast or something. Maybe it's easier to get certain people in the room if it's in a location that's more popular. But outside of that, like that don't bother.
Okay, all right, that's fair. All right, man, we can go ahead and wrap this up, man. I know you're tired of beating the dead horse that's called the All-Star and stuff, man. You so thoroughly disappointed, man. Anything else you want to say on the sign off, man?
There's no competition for the podcast, bro. We the only ones out here.
Oh, okay.
We like
okay, all right. Hey, yo, let us know, man, what you think about the All-Star game. What you think about the Mac. You know what I'm saying? You can leave the comments below in the comment section, or you can just hit us up on the social medias and tell us how you really feel and things like that, man. So yeah, let us know. Any other sign off you want to add on? You good? You sure?
Like, follow, subscribe. We ain't had a trivia moment in a minute. I guess the little rundown of duck closest we got. We missed the homies, man. But outside of that, let us know what you thought about Star. Did you like it? What didn't you like? What changes would you like to, or what would you want to see stay and remain unchanged? Let us know.
Yeah, cool. yeah, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend if you like what you hear. And we're here every Wednesday. So until next Wednesday, guys, man. Peace.